I'm Charles McCain. The book I'm going to review now is quite obscure, and you'll probably have a hard time finding it. The Hotel Adlon, it's by Hedda Adlon, who was the widow of the last member of the Adlon family, the men who ran the Hotel Adlon. I think there were three generations of it. The Hotel Adlon occupied a major place in Berlin. Not only is it very close to the Brandenburg Gate, but it was built more or less with the patronage of the Kaiser. Some other people wanted to build hotels, and he sort of said, no, I think I'd like this fellow to build a hotel. And so the Adlon is tied up with the history of the country because they were always having conferences there and meetings there. If you were a foreign journalist, you stayed at the Adlon. Quite frankly, if you weren't anybody, you stayed at the Adlon when you went to Berlin because you just didn't stay in other hotels. And she takes it through both, from the start, when the hotel was built just before the turn of the 20th century, all the way till the end of the war, where literally, incredibly, it had survived completely intact until the last day of the war, when it was hit by Soviet artillery. If you can imagine all the bombing of things on Berlin, it never was damaged at all. And the waiters and everything were still wearing black tie, although they were all 80 years old. And, of course, the food and everything had gone to hell. But it really is a fascinating story. And they're somewhat, not bizarre, but they seem bizarre when you read them, where she recounts, well, the Gestapo, had a big conference. And so they, they papered over the windows so no one could see. And they rented, all the conference rooms on the first floor. And you're kind of like, the Gestapo had conferences. I mean, of course they did. It just seems odd. The Adlon was famous in the 1920s for employing both male and female prostitutes. So it was a full-service hotel. And as I said, American journalists stayed there. William Shirer talks about it. He stayed there. The CBS correspondents all had a room there. And William Shirer's floor maid used to tell him, well, as soon as, the war starts, for you, Mr. Shirer. And so, it's kind of brutal, but I go on about this because it's just a fascinating memoir. Well, of course, a lot of it's not actually true, but it's her impressions. So if you can find this book and you want to truly see sort of the human side of all of this, I certainly give it 5 stars. Hotel Adlon by Hedda Adlon, quite fascinating. The Hotel Adlon has actually been rebuilt about 5 years ago, and 10 years ago in the same in the same location. Obviously, it's not the same hotel, but quite fascinating.